Hi, I'm Taylor Smurl.
And I'm Tommy Smurl.
And this is
Meat.
So over on the podcast, we talked all about tonic water, the history of tonic, and we also talked about the differences between soda water, sparkling mineral water, and seltzer. So if that piques your interest, head on over to the podcast and check that out. So we're just going to show off some of the different takes on gin and tonics that have been produced by bartenders around the world.
All right. Well, you lead the way and I shall follow.
Well, first up is going to be a very simple gin and tonic preparation. It's called the Gin Tonic. It's a cool name. Where that comes from is it's just a gin and tonic where you sub out some of the tonic for your soda water. So, you could use soda, you could use seltzer, you could use sparkling mineral water. Now you know there's a difference between all of those. We're going to build this exactly like a classic G&T in a Collins glass full of ice. No shaking necessary. We're just going to build it in the glass, give it a little stir to incorporate, done and done. So first step, fill your Collins glass with ice. All right, and to this we're going to add 2 ounces of a gin of your choice. I'm going to be using my Roku gin. It's a Japanese gin. Just an homage to the fact that the first place I actually was introduced to the concept of the Gin Tonic was at a bar in Tokyo. Japanese bartending is amazing for lots of reasons, but one of the things that I think they do really fantastically is make small, smart alterations to classic cocktails. It doesn't have to be a big fancy change. It doesn't have to have a ton of ingredients. Let's just find a way to do this a little bit better. And I think this is one of those nudges where it's just classic G&T, but cut a little bit of the sweetness, add a little bit of soda. So really nice concept.
I've got Dr. Bombay.
Good old Bombay. Solid London dry gin.
I called it Dr. Bombay because he used to be a character on Bewitched.
You said that, you made that joke last time.
Oh, well, some things never get old. Did I ever tell you about the time I rode in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Yes, you did. You absolutely did.
Maybe you weren't home for dinner that night.
Nope. I was, if I wasn't home for dinner that night, I was home for dinner one of the other nights, of the many nights you've told that story. I think you've told it on every podcast. On podcasts that you're not even on, that story has been told. So I think we are aware. Next Thanksgiving, I'll tell you what, you can retell that podcast or that story on this show.
Okay.
So we've got our gin in our Collins glass. Now we're just gonna eyeball it from here, but you just want equal parts. So probably about 2 ounces of soda water, 2 ounces of tonic. If you want to jigger it, you can. You can be exact, but I'm gonna eyeball it.
I got Schweppes of each. Schweppes Club Soda and Schweppes Tonic. Yep.
There you go.
I got swept away.
Well, now I've got the Fever Tree. I mentioned Fever Tree on the show. So I like this. They do this it's this lighter tonic. It's not like a diet tonic. It's just got a little bit less sugar in it. I really like this. And this is their classic Indian tonic. And then I also have their soda. They've got a nice soda.
Fever Tree. Let the fever overtake you.
Really attractive bottles too.
These are just short, squat bottles, but they get the job done. They deliver the beverage for your beverage.
And, of course, classic garnish on a G&T. Just a lime.
My lime jumped off.
Oh, no. You got a problem with that.
There. Yeah, my garnishments seem to abandon ship on me sometimes.
You gotta put it a good notch in there. If you're not cutting it, you can't just force it over the lip.
I'm gonna have to get on my bar back. She's shorting me.
Well, I worked with a bartender for a while at one of my first barback jobs where sometimes when you're cutting like 6-7 quarts of lime wedges for prep, sometimes you miss a notch in one. And if he would find them without a notch in them, he would pin you in the head with them. So sometimes I'd be over the dishwasher like washing dishes and I just get hit in the side of the head with a lime wedge because I forgot to cut a notch in it. I didn't like that guy. I don't manage like that. I like positive reinforcement, not negative reinforcement, but whatever. Hey,
I'm glad you weren't putting a notch in watermelons.
Oh, well, because they'd hurt. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, when he threw them. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, my lime fell in my drink, but I guess that's okay. It's just more flavor.
Well, I actually, to be honest, I rarely drink gin and tonics. Actually, if I do, I don't drink gin and tonics. I drink gin sonics, and I always squeeze the lime in there. I think that little bit of lime juice actually really improves the drink.
Well, I've got plenty of wedges here, so I'm going to wedge one in there.
Yeah.
Squeeze that in there.
Now, I know this isn't really your style of drink. It's not a very sweet drink, so curious what you think of it.
It's okay. There's something in the very back of my throat. Maybe it's a tonic that hits
Bitter?
me in the very back of the throat. Yeah, it's almost like a dry, hanging taste back there.
Yeah, that's definitely the end taste is kind of a 1-2 punch of like the astringency of gin, especially the style of gin you have. That's a good, strong, dry gin. And then that tonic. And I mean, that's the flavor profile of the gin and tonic. And if you have a sweeter palate, drinking it the classic way with a bit more tonic water without the soda balances that out a bit. But I prefer this because I like drinks when they're kind of bracing and bitter. This is, if I'm going to drink a G&T, I want to drink it like this. Now, the next style of gin and tonic we're going to show you is, it's sort of a do it your own way gin and tonic, but it's sometimes called the Spanish Gin Tonic. And that's because this is a popular style of drinking gin and tonics in Spain, where you add a lot of aromatics, usually some fruit, sometimes some fruit juice, to your classic gin and tonic in just a big, beautiful, like globe glass with a ton of ice. And it's a really it's a beautiful presentation. It's a bit more of a sensory experience. So we're going to try out a couple of variations. But the fun part about this style of a G&T is you can really do whatever you want with it. So I've got my nice big wine glass here. I'm going to do 2 of these just to show off the variety of options you can do with this.
And I shall do 2 as well. I shall not be outdone.
Same as before, you're going to ice your glasses. To the base of each of these, we're going to add our gin, obviously, same 2 ounces. If you're kind of a gin geek like me, every gin has a different flavor profile. And especially like as we get like the explosion of the craft cocktail world, like a lot of really cool brands out there are making very assertive gins that highlight 1 or 2 aromatics, not like they don't all have the same thing. So one of the fun things about this build is you can look at the like flavors in your gin of choice and try to pair it with aromatics or fruit, vegetables, citrus that pair with that gin. So I'm going to use 2 different gins. I'm going to use sort of a more like savory, spicy gin, and then I'm going to use a little bit more botanical herbal gin, and I'm going to build my 2 G&Ts around those.
I'm just going to use the 1 gin that I've got that's here in this bottle.
Well, that's fine too. I've got Death's Door gin. It's one of my favorites. It keeps its botanical profile really neat. It's just juniper, coriander, and fennel seed. And then the other gin, this is a newer gin, one I haven't really played with before, but I saw this in the liquor store. I was really intrigued. It's this gray whale gin from California. And it has a really nice, like, mint flavor to it, but it also has sea kelp. So it has this sort of umami flavor, but it has these really bright kind of minty botanicals too. So I'm really excited to build around these 2.
I'm a man of simple gins.
And I look at my liquor collection, like I have a good amount of liquor, but it's like at least 30% just weird gins. I feel like every bartender gets one spirit. They're like, nope, that's mine. That's the thing that I do. Right. So we've got our gin in there. Now, we're going to add, let's see. So to my slightly more savory gin, I'm going to go with some cucumber. I'm going to do some green peppercorn in there. And I'm going to do a little bit of thyme. A little bit.
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
And maybe a little squeeze of some lime juice. This is a weird ingredient to throw in a cocktail, but I find that it's really nice, especially in something like this where I want to bring out those savory qualities. I've got a little bit of like finishing salt here. It's just Himalayan pink salt. It's like the kind of coarse stuff. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit in there. Salting cocktails can sound scary if you haven't played around with it, but it actually just opens up your palate to taste more. Now I'm going to top with my tonic. Oh yeah, that looks nice. So I kept mine it's very aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very aesthetic drink. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. I like this one better.
The main thing that is going on with this is like you're getting those aromatics, and we know that smell is deeply tied to taste. So that is impacting how you're tasting the gin and tonic. Also, like in this case, I did all tonic. I didn't cut it with the soda. So there is more sugar there. And it's playing off of that more savory gin and those sort of the salt I added, the peppercorn, the cucumber, more savory elements. So kind of balancing out the sweet tonic with a bunch of savory herbs.
So what do we do for our next offering?
All right. So for this one, I don't know what else you've got there, but I wanted to do one based around. So this is, as I mentioned on the podcast, Fever Tree has some different sort of tonics. One of them that I've used before is this Elderflower tonic water. So it's tonic, but it's got the addition of like fresh elderflowers. So it has this really beautiful kind of like floral honey tone to it. I'm going to use this. It's a little sweeter than classic tonic. It's got a little less bitterness. So I'm going to play off of that.
All right.
And
I'm going to put my other ingredients in first though, aren't I?
Yes. So I'm going to go with I've got this nice big long grapefruit twist. So I'm going to expel some of that oil in there right away.
I got a slice.
You don't have to follow my lead too. You can do your own thing.
Well, I'm not going to put the whole thing in there. That would be more like a fruit salad. I'm going to juice it a little bit in there.
I'm going to throw a little bit of bitters in this. I'm going to put a little Ango in there.
I'll see your bitters. And I will raise you 2 basil leaves.
All right, yeah. Do some basil. I'm going to throw a couple little, these are definitely more for aesthetics than anything, but I've got some juniper berries here. So that's just going to reference the gin. And then I'm going to throw some mint in mine. Grapefruit and mint is a really nice combination of flavors. And it's going to bring out that mint that I mentioned is in the gin.
I've got some lemon here I haven't used.
I might throw some lemon in there too. Just put a whole wheel in there. Same as before, you got all your elements in there. Going to top it off with your tonic.
Somewhere in France.
Look at this beautiful goblet. Oh, wow. Always, when I feel like a cocktail format is particularly viable for like a gathering, like if you want to be like a fancy host and have like a really nice cocktail party, but also not be running around rinsing out your shaker tin and like going through pre-batching and stuff. A G&T bar is a great setup for a cocktail party. Like have a couple different like nice versions of tonic, have a bunch of herbs, some fruit, some aromatics, you know, like have like 2 or 3 cool gins to try, and then let people do their own thing. You don't have to think about anything. It is a great format for like a fun cocktail party that is no sweat on the host.
Sounds like it. How about that? Does that look all right?
Looks lovely. Cheers again.
Cheers.
Oh, that's the one for me. That's delicious.
Yeah, I think I like this one the best.
That grapefruit and mint.
That grapefruit was meant to be.
Since you got Perrier and soda right there in front of you, can you give us a 1-to-1 and tell us if you taste any difference?
Oh yeah, between Perrier and soda. It's bubbly, but it doesn't really taste like anything. This is like super bubbly, and it definitely has an aftertaste that you feel on the back of your throat.
Mm.
So I don't know. I would not want to drink either one of those straight, just as a beverage of relaxation.
Oh,
But
well,
I
like
think I
in place of like a drink, sure, yeah.
Right. Yeah, instead of a Coke or something.
Not like it, like, oh no, that's not drinkable on its own. Like it is, it's just water,
No.
Dad.
Yeah, it is drinkable, but I mean, it's not enjoyable.
It's like that episode of It's Always Sunny where Danny DeVito's character is amazed that people drink regular orange juice. It's like, people drink orange juice, the mixer, just on its own? Well, there you go. Excellent, refreshing, low maintenance summer cocktail. The G&T is a classic for a reason.
Yeah, try one of these here gourmet ones with all the fancy fruits thrown in.
It also just looks nice. Like, you don't have to do much here. There's the prep for this was nothing. Like, cut up some fruit, have some bottles out, but it looks great.
Yeah, and it's like put in 2 ounces of gin, whatever kind of shit you got, and then add some tonic on top. There you go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Have a couple bottles of soda out there too if people don't want to drink the tonic. Like, it's, really it's what you want to make it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like life, it is what you make it.
All right. Well, hey, as always, thank you, Dad, for being here.
Well, as always, thank you for having me, Taylor. It's always an education.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you would like to support us, we have a Patreon. You can find us over there. We have rewards of coasters and stickers, and we just launched our new bespoke cocktail club, where 2 random patrons every month will get a custom cocktail made for them. These are videos that are only viewable if you're a member of our Patreon. So if that sounds
and I'll
cool
get to invent one of these cocktails.
That's the fun game, is that it's 2 random people and it's completely random whether I make your drink or Dad makes your drink.
We know who you're rooting for.
That'll be fun either way. So check that out if you have the ability to donate. If not, we're just happy to have you here. You can find us on social media on Instagram and Twitter at Neat Boozecast. Feel free to email us at neattheboozecast@gmail.com. And if you want to share some pictures of your beautiful G&Ts or just talk to other fans of cocktails, you can check out our Facebook group.
That's right, at Neat the Boozecast. We've got a group there. You can come look at it.
There you go.
Join in, put something in there.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get a comment back from me. I always comment on everything that comes in.
Still surviving on Facebook. All right.
Yeah, I had to give up on MySpace. It was very lonely there.
You did not have a MySpace. That is not accurate. Yeah,
I've been hanging on the Insta.
You can check out our Neat the Boozecast live journal every week.
What the what?
Live journal? No, it's okay. Shh, never happened. All right.
Do we TikTok?
We do not TikTok. We probably could TikTok. I feel like there's a lot of cocktail making on TikTok. It's been suggested that we do TikTok cocktails on an episode of Neat. I don't know how I feel about that though. It's all over the place. Yeah.
Well, do we subscribe or hit the like button?
You can definitely hit the like button. You can definitely hit the subscribe button. You get updated whenever we release these new videos. Yeah, we'd appreciate that. So smash things down there.
Those things, smash them.
Do it. Smash. Muddle that like button. Oh, what? All right, hey, thanks again. I've been Taylor Smurl.
And I've been Tommy Smurl.
And this has been
Neat. Yeah, I got to get to work. I got a lot of drinking to do here.
I know. Still not enough to stave off malaria. Still definitely invest in your proper anti-malarial drugs.
Even if I just start drinking it straight?
No, that is a tiny bottle. That is not...
Tiny bottles in the well.